What's up, YouTube? This is my Stampede 4x4 project, and just wanted to kind of tell you what's going on with it and why there really hasn't been any videos. So anyway, let's get started. Basically, for a little bit I was trying to figure out what I wanted to run here. Do I want to run a Mamba Monster 2? Just kidding. But a Sidewinder 8 or a bigger system like that? Or do I want to run a 10 scale system? But then all the work I've kind of done seemed to kind of, overkill a little bit. Like, these XO1 drive shafts and knuckles and etc. The 17mm wheels and everything. I made a really big deal on my list because after my buddy Marty put his Stampede 4x4 together, I did not like how he had his Sidewinder 8 ESC mounted. I didn't like it on top of the battery tray or the battery strap. Yeah, I know, just how I am. I don't really like that. I know this looks kind of ghetto, but it has a reason. So let me flip this over. Well, actually not. I wanted to show you what I had to do with the chassis first. I had to trim that out a little bit for this motor. I trimmed a little too much, but better to have a little too much than not enough, right? And I know it kind of weakens the chassis a little bit, but I prefer a little extra room in taking the motor in and out of the chassis. And I need to sand it down a little bit, and I can do a little better job on that later, and we'll do a fresh re-dye. But I just wanted to kind of get the ball rolling when I first dyed this thing. So anyway, as you can see, I don't have a servo anymore. I had an offer on from a buddy. He wanted to buy two 2075s. So, excuse me. So I bought two. I sold him the two 2075s I had. So I had to pull one out of this. So I need to get a servo. So I'm probably gonna pick up a Savox 0321 or 231, whatever it is. 321. No, 231. Okay, got that in my head. But I'm going to get one of them servos for this. Should be pretty good. They got like about 200 ounces, 215 ounces of torque, I believe. Like average, waterproof, about 43 bucks with glitch buster and all that stuff. So not a bad deal, metal geared. So that'll be plenty for this truck as I run that in my e-rev out. And it's kind of not enough, and I need to upgrade it at some point, but it does the job. Way more powerful than even the 2075 that came in this thing. And these things came with 2055s in the brush version. But I'm talking too much now. But basically what's going on here. Well, my Ofna buggy had a 1500 kV motor. This little babe. And it's not too big. It's not too obnoxious. Like it fits in the chassis pretty well. And I did this cutting because it made it sit better. If I'd have put a little bigger pinion on there, which I'll probably end up doing anyway, because being how small it is, I could probably gear this up pretty good, but I ran the smaller pinion. But if I had put a bigger pinion here, I would not have even had to cut the chassis at all, other than this little piece down here. So yeah, but trim the chassis, fits in here with minimal modifications. Then, being that the Sidewinder was a little bigger, I really wouldn't fit. So this SC8 that came in the Ofna buggy, I figured, well, why not? I can't stick it here. Can't stick it here, but the receiver box was mounted here. So what if I put it up here? Now this plate is not permanent, this STRC slash rifle plate. It's just there for mock-up, and to give me kind of a good idea of where everything's going to go. So I think I'm going to fab up a plate to mount that, the SC8 ESC up there. So that should sit up in the front. And then, thinking around, I had a Spectrum SR200 WP from a Vetera Kalahari that I parted out, and I kept the radio from it. So I'm like, dude, this will work perfect. So I think I'm going to trim this a little bit, but I can either mount it on the side, mount it here, which I don't know if I want to get that close to the motor or not, but we'll just do a video. It barely fits, like, just barely. But if I trim that down, then that'll lay flat in there, or I can lay it sideways in here, or mount on top of the ESC, or on top of the servo, perhaps, sorry. Something like that. But anyway, that is the situation with the Stampede 4x4. That is the electronic situation. I'm still waiting until I get all of this done. It's not on a battery. Probably going to pick up a Hobby King for now. Judge me all you want. Probably going to pick up a Hobby King for now. Maybe later on I will pick up a Max Amp, since all my friends are getting them, and I feel kind of left out. You know who I'm talking to. So anyway, guys, this is my Stampede 4x4. This is the electronic setup I have chosen. Hopefully it does me well. If not, I'll pick something else that's part of the fun of the hobby. I had this lying around, so why the hell not? Anyway, guys, see you guys soon. Bye.